You're tuned in to another episode of No Chaser Podcast. This is episode 3, and I am your host, Remy Rowe. I am excited tonight to sit down with this guest. This guy here, man, he has really did it big in the football community, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers community. He is like the ultimate fan. You guys may have seen him. He's made national news on television with recent events. But I am here to bring to you tonight to sit down up close and personal with my guy. This guy's like family. I know him forever. And I got yours truly, Jamal JayBuc Sanders. What it do?
Remy.
What's going on, JayBuc?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good, bro. I'm excited to have you, man.
Hey, man, I'm excited to be on. Actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let me pay my homage. Let me pay my respect to my big bro, Remy. Super B Clothing Apparel, or 1-5 Entertainment. Like, who would have imagined at this point that I'll be a guest on No Chase Podcast?
Hey, that's real, man. That's real, man.
Man, this what's
I appreciate it, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me, man.
Hey,
Thank
man,
you for having me.
It's an honor, man. It's an honor. And I've been following you, and I see, and it's crazy because the circle of people who you travel with, are good friends of mine. Yeah. And I don't even think they know how close we are, how long I know you. Because I don't really, talk about all that. But
exactly,
it's just to see you out having fun, living life, man, and you enjoying something that that's awesome, man. Not too many people can do that, or choose not to do that. I won't say they can't do it, but because you can do anything you put your mind to. But man, that's awesome, man, that you're doing that and living your dream.
Man, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing. And a lot of people, they see the fandom, but for me, it's not only me representing, I guess, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to some degree, but I'm so Tampa. I love my city. I live, I breathe Tampa. And I guess this fandom is, one of the ways that I can express my love for my city. Palm River, Tampa is all I know.
Gotcha.
So, just to be, in this position, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. Don't get me wrong. It has its challenges now.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's
it has its challenges, but overall, I'm just blessed to be in this position. So.
Got you. Now, let's talk about the Phantom. The mask that you're infamous for. What's the symbolic meaning behind it, or what made you, out of all the masks that you could have chose, like what made you go with the Phantom? I love it though. I love it because it's unique. You know. So,
oh God,
go ahead.
I got to sit up for this one. I got to sit up for this one. The mask. Here's the crazy thing. Even before I get into how I incorporated the mask in the fandom, I just want to be clear that two things. One, like I say, when it come to Remy,
right?
Remy, you so connected with so many, people who are family, right, and just people who I know in the Bay. Like you can, so
shout out.
Of course, I grew up, and I want to make it clear. I need for everybody to understand. I grew up following Remy. Like Remy's real close to my big cousin, my oldest cousin. Shouts out to my DJ Hojo. Yeah, y'all know him as DJ Hojo, but at the end of the day, he gonna always be my cousin Howard. So of course I'm a jit. When it come to Roll, when it come to Howard, when it come to Jamil, when it come to, rest in peace, when it come to Lamont, when it come to Kendall, like I remember all of these cats growing up, me wanting to be like them, they was all at Hillsborough, they played baseball, football, so of course when it come to me, I'm a jit to them. So when it comes to this whole fandom, me coming up, like, and I'm not saying them in particular, but like a lot of older cats who I follow, it was like lame to them. That's not when it comes to the, African-American fans, the black fans, things of that nature, that's just not how they represented or showed their fandom. We was comfortable with just the fitted cap. We was comfortable with, the latest, shoes. If it was Jordans. Growing up as a child, it was our BKs, it was the Jupes, it was the Reebok Classics. So me growing up as a kid, us dressing up fandom with paint, that's just not what we did. It was always lame. So as I got older, as I became an adult, as I, got to the point to where, I was able to become a season ticket holder, I always had that in my mind.
Right.
So fast forward to 2014. So the whole mask thing, or actually, let me back up just a couple of more steps back. The whole dressing up thing, it was off of a bet. It was a bet.
Oh, wow.
So in 2014, I'm connected. Shots out to, I have some mentors when it comes to this whole super fan thing. I have a few mentors, and one of my mentors is a very close friend of mine, a sister of mine. Her name is Ramona Ruiz. Shots out to Ramona.
Oh, okay.
So
Ramona, shout out to Ramona.
Shots out to Ramona. So me and Ramona actually met through a mutual acquaintance, and of course the mutual friend that we had. He was a Buc fan. She was a Buc fan. He was like, "Oh, you got to meet my homegirl. My homegirl, she go hard." And Ramona, when I tell you, Ramona is one of the first diehard. But when I mean diehard,
she go hard, bro.
She goes hard. So her and I, we connected. I want to say, I think 2013, 2014. Maybe into 2013, going into 2014, but it was around that time. So she always tried to convince me to dress up. So again, in my mind, I'm thinking, the shit lame, or nah, that's not what we do, or that's not what I saw.
What people think of you.
I'm good with my jersey. I'm good with my fitted cap.
Right.
I'm good with my chain. I'm good, with my J's, things of that nature. So in the 2014 season, it was never a time. It was never a time that I was ever in the mind frame of the Bucs tanking a season. So in 2014, I remember the game as if it was yesterday. It was Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Quarterback? Was that Winston?
Actually, I think it was no. Winston didn't get drafted in 2015.
Okay, so that
in
would have been
2014. It was. I think Mike Glennon was the quarterback for this game, but it was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Cleveland Browns.
Okay,
so it was that game where we determined if the Bucs lose that game, we was going to go in on not only tanking the season, but we was going to go to the 2015 NFL draft in hopes that the Buccaneers draft Jameis, So at the time it wasn't guaranteed, but we wasn't guaranteed. We didn't secure the first round draft pick yet because we still in the middle of the season. So I was like, if we lose this game against Cleveland, fuck it. Let's tank the season. Let's get that number one pick, and if we get the number one pick, we better go all in on Jameis.
Right.
So we end up losing that game. We got the number one draft pick going into the 2015 season. We made plans to go to a 2015 NFL draft. That was the first draft I ever been to, and it was at that point I determined. I said, if we go to the draft, I'm gonna dress up, but I was only gonna do it one time.
Right.
I was only going to do it one time. So I knew I wasn't finna, as much as I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as much as I love my city, it was nowhere in here I was going to commit to putting paint all in my face. So I knew I wouldn't go do that. So then I was like, well, let me look into a mask or something like that. But I knew I didn't want to wear a full mask, like to completely cover, my face, because I'm in the mind frame.
It's hot here, man.
Well, yeah, but again, the draft that year was in Chicago, so I was in the mind frame. I was going to wear it one time, so I guess at the time, the weather wasn't a factor because it was going to be, in Chicago. So I went to thinking, I went to exploring what I was going to do. So I actually came across. Believe it or not, y'all, back in the day, I was in the performing arts. So dance, believe it or not, I danced my way through college. I did my little acting, my little stage play, things of that nature. So I actually did a production. Well, actually not a production. It was Actually, it was a production, and we actually did this routine that kind of featured, like, feature Phantom of the Opera.
Gotcha.
So I came across that mask, and I just trying different things. Put the mask on, and I put a pirate hat on, and I said, "Shit, this shit might work." So knowing me, I said, "Nah, I got to do something to spice it up." So then I got a whole bunch of Buccaneer stickers and things of that nature, and I put the stickers on the man. I'm like, "Nah, this shit look cheesy as fuck." So then I went to, started thinking, I was like, I wonder if I can find somebody to, maybe if I paint it or maybe if I do something to it, to give it some spunk, it might work.
Right.
So I hope my boy ain't gonna get no cease or desist letter. Shouts out to my boy Rob. I'ma just go say that. I ain't gonna say too much.
Shout out to Rob.
Took it to Rob, and I'm like, Rob, I'm getting ready to go to the draft. Is this something you can do to this or whatever? Before I can finish the sentence, Rob said, "Hey, say less." Next thing you know, the infamous mask is here.
That's the birth of it. Okay.
Yeah, so Rob birthed it, and then by him birthing it, I got even more creative with it. So I try to do at least 6 to 8 a year. Each mask have a theme and a meaning.
Got you.
Behind it. So of course I will always pay homage and pay tribute to the very first one, which is the red one, with the Buccaneer logo. But again, every year I try to mix it up, try to give it a theme, try to give it some type of meaning. So I do one for breast cancer. I do one for
that's awesome.
Our armed forces. Of course I have to have a red one. I got to have a pewter one. I got to have an orange one. So then, this year, I kind of wanted it to emulate the pants. So the mask that I wore this year, I had the stripe down the side. So every year, I try to do something to mix it up and get creative. Creative. But that's how it was introduced. That's how the whole Phantom mask came into play. It was in the very first time it was introduced was the 2015 NFL Draft in Chicago.
So from hearing this story, you've been following the Bucs long before you became the JayBuc super
Absolutely.
fan.
So here's the thing. I'm gonna start where I'm at. I'm finna work my way back. I actually became a season ticket holder. It was technically in 2010. I credit myself for 2009 because think about it. By the time I graduated from FAM, I graduated from FAM in 06.
Shout out to FAMU.
Shouts out to the Rattlers. FAMU, highest of the 7th Hills. I bleed orange and green. Shouts out to FAMU. I love FAMU. So I graduated FAMU in 06. So during that time when I graduated FAM in 06, there was still a waiting list to become a season ticket holder. There was still a waiting list. So then after the 08 season, and then that was their Brooks last season, that was, I guess that 09 season was considered a rebuild season for us. So that was around the opportunity of, I guess, people that was on the waiting list for them to become season ticket holders. So in 2009, I bought someone's season tickets, but I officially became a season ticket holder in 2010. Let's work that way back. Believe it or not, Raymond James. Well, actually, no. Raymond James was established in '98.
Right.
Okay. By that time, I was living in Miami. Okay. So I didn't attend my first game in Raymond James until 2004.
Okay.
That's when I attended my first game at Raymond James.
Gotcha.
But the fandom started as a kid during those 14 double-digit losing seasons. Right. I was born in 81.
The paper bags over there.
Yeah, I was born in 81. I didn't get my first winning season as a Buck fan until 1997.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the Sapp and Warwick Dunn and Derrick Brooks era.
I remember my first Buck game. I remember my first Buck game as a kid. My very first Buck game as a kid in the Old Sombrero is the Bucs versus the Vikings. I can even tell you how I got that ticket.
Wow.
So a lot of people do not know MLK used to be what street? Buffalo. Okay. One Buck used to be what?
One Buck was over by the mall.
By the mall.
Right. What we know is what we know as International Mall now, but
well, it's in no. But the one Buck used to be the Tampa Bay Mall.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that used to be Tampa Bay Mall.
Tampa Bay Mall.
So how I came across these tickets behind the mall Behind the mall, actually, where the practice fields are, behind the mall used to be J.C. Penney.
Right.
So me, my mom, and whomever, we went to take pictures at Olin. I remember Olin Mills. That was at J.C. Penney. My mama used to drive a brown Buick. We walked out of J.C. Penney's, and it was I think about maybe 3 or 4 Buc tickets on our windshield,
sitting there.
So
they
I remember,
the tickets away.
Yeah, they giving tickets away. I remember getting tickets walking out, and Buc tickets being on the windshield. I remember going trick or treating, and they was passing out Buc tickets.
That's crazy.
I remember going to church, and Brother Dexter, shouts out to Brother Dexter, would have like a stack of tickets. You know, so of course the Bucs was so sorry. You know, it was really hard to convince my mom or certain people to want to go to the game. It was not popular being a Buc fan growing up during those double-digit losing seasons.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
You know, a lot of people glorify the throwback, and don't get me wrong, I think the Bucs, because we in the era where they glorify the throwbacks now. Right. But back then, nobody don't want to talk about Buck or Brew. Our uniform used to be the laughing stock of the league. So my thing is, it wasn't popular growing up being a Buck fan. Right. You know, but my fandom started when I was a kid.
I remember when hip hop, I seen a rapper had on like a Trent Dilfer, and they had the orange one. And I was like, whoa. But I knew it had to be a fashion statement. Maybe it matched his shoes or something, because nobody wasn't rocking no cream sticker Trent Dilfer. You know, and even like the Doug Williams throwback. Now, the Doug Williams got popular because it's Doug. You know, we showing support to the brother and whatnot. But you know, at that time, man, we was the laughing stock of the league, and you right. Nobody was jumping up and down to go see the Bucs play, man. So you definitely on point with that. Yeah. So long standing Buccaneer fan all your life, you know, became a season ticket holder at I'm gonna tell you something. I'm a diehard Buccaneer fan too. I've never been a season ticket holder.
Really?
Never. I you know, I'm that type of person where on Sundays I have a ritual, like a routine I like to do. You know, I like to get up. I like to look at the pregame shows. I like to check my bets and my things like that. You know, if I'm going to fire my grill or invite some friends over. So it's like, to me, that Sunday is a little more, I like to be in close quarters and be able to, I might get loud, curse the TV, and I don't want to be around a bunch of strangers in those stadium, hot, pissed off. My team start losing, I'm ready to go. I'm mad, you know, and then I'm paying overpriced for the drinks. I'm like, nah. So I just feel like, you know, I pick and choose my battles and just select certain games I want to go to.
Exactly.
You know, so I admire those that go out and purchase. And don't get me wrong, it's crossed my mind many a times to like, hey, go get some season tickets, and you know, whatever games you don't go to, you can always sell them or, you know, put them on online or whatnot. But I just never did it, man. But I salute to you guys that do that. And I do got some questions that I want to get into, because I'm pretty sure those that's tuned in to this interview, they probably want to know some of the answer to these questions too.
Yes, sir. Let's get to it.
So we're gonna go in this box.
Okay.
And, we're gonna go into this box. Okay. And you just you could pull out some questions and just answer them on there.
I might got to take off the shades for this one. Oh man. All right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
First question. Ooh. This is a 2-part answer.
Okay.
All right.
Shoot at it.
So the question is, my favorite Bucs player of all time and why? I got to pay homage to Warren Sapp.
Facts.
Warren Sapp was that player. Warren Sapp was that player that I saw. His grit and how he revolutionized the position, the defensive tackle. Me growing up, those positions like defensive tackle, those positions in the trenches, those wasn't, you know, popular.
They didn't get glorified.
It didn't get glorified like the cornerbacks. Like Deion Sanders is my favorite, NFL non-Buccaneer favorite NFL player of all time.
Right.
But Warren Sapp was, again, this is me growing up as a kid, because again, Sapp was drafted in 95. Dungy became the coach in 96. So 97. That was one of the first. Sapp is one of the first players that I kind of saw revolutionize a position other than wide receiver, quarterback, cornerback.
He made it cool to be a fat boy on the line.
Exactly.
He glorified.
Exactly.
And now you got little kids wanting to be like number 99.
Exactly. So, but my favorite player of all time is by far favorite Buccaneer player of all time is Michael Lynn Evans, aka Michael Lynn Evans 1000.
There you go.
That's
the
my
next
guy.
Hall of Famer, by the way.
That's my guy.
He definitely gonna be a Hall of Famer when that number 13 get hung up in the in the ring of honor. So I can definitely see that. Let's go with the next question.
Next question. Oh, Ro, you got me nervous, man.
Don't be nervous, man. You need a drink?
Actually,
we gonna have us a drink. Let you get to this in a minute. We'll crack that bottle open.
Should the Bucs wear orange uniforms more? Ooh.
I'm gonna let you answer that, then I'm gonna give you my answer on that.
No.
Why?
And this is for me. I don't have good memories associated with the throwback. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm born into 14 double-digit losing seasons. During the time when the Bucs had some success with Doug Williams, that was before I was born, or before I really started remembering the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now I understand that again we're in an era where we glorify the throwback. Mm-hmm. I understand that. I understand that, again, this is not about me. It's about, the fan base at the end of the day.
Right.
I understand that the fan base as a whole really love, the throwback. Don't get me wrong. So, again, it is the beginning, of the franchise. And, I understand, fans really enjoy, celebrating the throwback. Right. And I enjoy the throwback game, but to wear them more, not because the uniforms don't look good. I think that, again, we in the era of the throwback.
So
I think they look great.
It's
I don't have any good memories associated with those uniforms. Now, I will say this. I would not mind. It would have been dope if that playoff game against Philly, if the Philly would have wore their throwbacks and the Bucs would have won their throwbacks, that would have been, that would have been
praying
epic.
For that.
Yeah. So for something like that, or even if it was one game, like say if we was going to an away game, and I think week one when we played against the Vikings, week one, I think the Vikings wore their throwback.
Right.
That game. So it would have been dope if if it was something like that, maybe. But wearing it more, no.
So no. I'm gonna give you my take on it. And I feel the opposite for that exact same reason. I want us to overturn the stigma. Like the Bucs is not that double-digit losing team no more. Brain because the orange is fly. Yeah. Like, I'm in the fashion. So when I do the creamsicle superb joints, those are my biggest selling. That orange, it pops. So I feel like now that the Bucs are somewhat a winning organization, kill that old stigma and come out and play in that orange more.
That's a good way to look at it.
More teams play in their alternate jerseys. We don't play in ours enough. No. We got the red on red, the color rush uniforms. We don't play in that enough. Yeah. I think they should switch it up. You know what I'm saying? That's just my opinion.
I agree, and I can see it from that point of view. But it's more so of a stigma thing for me.
Right.
But hey, you bring up a valid point. Maybe it is time to kind of
change the culture. Yeah. Let's put a different twist on
that perspective.
Grab you another one.
All right. Ooh, what's this one? Oh man. What's the one thing I want to accomplish before dying?
That's a real one, and it ain't. I put that in there because I always try to throw something that ain't. It's a random question that relate. We all got to leave here one day. You know what I'm saying? So we all should have a common set goal in life that we want to accomplish before we leave. So think about it for a second, man. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and pour me up.
Yeah, let me think about this. I'm going ahead and pull one.
Yeah, man.
Ooh. Man, Ro, you got me thinking about this one, man.
Ain't long thing wrong.
What's the one thing I want to accomplish before?
Open the phone lines?
We definitely gonna open the phone lines. We're gonna do one more question and then we'll open the phone lines. Yeah. Still ain't got nothing for me yet?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead, fire away.
The one thing that I want to accomplish before dying?
Yes.
If I died today, I'll be content.
Really?
Yeah. If I died today, I'm good.
Okay. So it ain't nothing that you could say, man, I wish I would have did this before I made my exit.
Here's the thing. I'm a firm believer in timing.
Okay.
And anything I have, anything that I did, I've learned actually in 2023 in particular, I learned that things will go happen on God's timing. Nothing has never happened for me on my timing.
Right.
And just the mere fact that, and again, and I'm not talking about just the fandom, just the mere fact that I have life, health, and strength. I have a daughter who carries my name. I have accomplished so much, in my life. Like, again, just what I will be completely. I'm happy with where I am now, and just the mere fact that I still have so much life to live.
Right.
It will on anything that I accomplish between now and then would just be an addition.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
If I died today,
that's your
I'm
truth.
good.
That's your answer. So
I'm good.
You gotta respect that, and that's your truth. So that it ain't no right or wrong to that question.
Yeah.
Because everyone is different.
Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah. So
good.
One more, and then we're gonna open up the phone lines, take some callers.
Oh, let me mix this one up. All right. Do I support any other Tampa teams other than the Buccaneers? Absolutely the fuck not. Now, I will say this. Though.
Yeah.
I do have certain players that I enjoy watching and that I would support. Now, I want to be careful with how I say support. I'm not supporting the team, I'm gonna be honest, Jameis Winston. I absolutely love Jameis. I love his family. If Jameis is playing, I'm gonna watch Jameis. I enjoyed Richard Sherman during his career, and I even though he briefly played for the Bucs, that was like a dream come true. I enjoy Peyton Manning, and I want to make it clear, Deion Sanders is my favorite NFL player of all time.
Gotcha.
So I do have
he's mine too.
Yeah.
I put Prime at the top, boy.
Absolutely.
Prime is
It's Prime for me. Then it's Warren Sapp. Then I got Mike Evans, Peyton Manning. I enjoyed watching Darrelle Revis play. So I have certain players that I do enjoy watching, who I follow, and I respect their career, I respect their game. But as far as supporting another team, absolutely not. Now, growing up as a kid, I remember people, having their favorite players and having their favorite teams, things of that nature. But at this phase of my life, it will forever be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for me.
You said something about Sapp, and he's been in the media this week. Sapp made a comment about Cam Newton, and we was talking offline before the cameras went on about that comment. And I love Sapp to death, but Sal, put your phone down. Stay off social media, bro. He spazzed out on that comment, man. He really undercut what Cam Newton did in the mark he made in this league. Like, to say the man was nothing but just a running back, that's so far from the truth, And
I'm going to agree and support you with this, that Sapp need to put his phone down for this reason. For this reason. Cam beat the Bucs more times than we beat him. In addition to Drew Brees, every time we had to play against Cam Newton, that there was a period where I could not sleep at night. So,
right.
Sapp,
they don't call him Superman for that.
Sapp, he Sapp QB killer, and of course, whenever Sapp speak, it's gonna hold some weight. But my thing is, I'm not on the same page with Sapp when it comes to this because. I had to endure. There was a period we had to endure Cam Newton twice a year.
Cam threw 4,000 yards a season and rushed 1,000.
Yeah,
was an All-Pro every year. Pro Bowler player, and he did that without marquee name receivers. I mean, he had Benjamin, but much as I love my Florida State guys, Benjamin didn't pan out to be the guy we thought it would be.
And then he had Steve Smith towards the end of Steve Smith's career.
He called an agent Steve Smith. They had a tight end. I forget the tight end, but
Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen. But again, just with those sprinkles and at those points in those guys' career, Cam basically did that with playing with less. So he didn't have a Mike Evans.
Ooh.
He didn't have a Chris Godwin.
Oh.
He didn't have that, and he still put up those tight numbers. So I think Sapp he spazzed out with that comment.
Yeah.
Man. But we're gonna go ahead and open up the phone lines. Some of your fans might want to call in and ask you a few questions. So we're gonna go ahead. You can reach us 813-501-7266. Again, that number to call in and ask JayBuc questions is 813-501-7266. Go ahead and open up them phone lines and pour you up a drink, man.
Yeah, man.
I heard you say earlier also that you haven't missed a game in the last 2 years.
Nope. Attended.
That's quite of an accomplishment.
Yeah, man.
That's a big milestone.
Yeah, so 40 straight regular season / playoff games in a row.
40 straight games. That's
40.
That's unheard of, man.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. I don't know no regular fan that could say that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
do the Bucs honor you with anything? Do they give you like any kickbacks?
No, and they don't have to.
Hey, I feel you because they
don't have to
because you doing it for what you love and like. Now with that, not to cut you off, because I know a lot of people they still probably trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So we're gonna help them connect the dots right now. Let's talk about the incident that went viral in Green Bay.
Oh man!
And I know for those that may call in, they have some questions in regards to that incident. So kind of run the playback on the Green Bay game. You in Lambeau Field.
In Lambeau. I think I was either in section 102, either 102 or 101. Literally directly behind the north end zone. I like to sit. But basically, I like to sit behind goalposts, and I like aisle seats.
Okay,
goalpost and aisle seats, and my life.
That's where all the action. The touchdowns, all that.
Yeah, my life will forever. It just hasn't been the same.
Gotcha.
So now that I'm on No Chaser podcast,
I think we got a call on the line.
Oh, okay.
It's D.
D? Daryl, okay, all right. So Daryl, for the people, man, tell them your name, where you're from, and what questions do you have for JayBuc today?
Okay, first of all, JayBuc, before I get to you, man, I want to salute. First of all, like I said, you've been a Bucs fan since birth. I'm from Atlanta, born and raised, so we suffer.
That's what's up.
So I know, you can relate. Fine, you got Super Bowls, but I definitely, salute to you, but definitely, bro, I love what y'all doing. But my question for both of y'all, I saw you with the Lambeau thing, but you spoke about the Bucs with the 2 Super Bowls. Put that 2002 team against the 2020 team. Who wins?
Ooh. God, for some reason, I knew this question was coming.
You know what?
I knew this question was coming.
What? I love that question. And for those that's sitting in the room that may not have heard that question, I'm gonna repeat Big D. Big D asked us the 2002 Bucs Super Bowl team versus the 2020 Bucs Super Bowl team that we won recently. Put them up against each other, and who do I like to win? So I'm gonna give my answer. I'm gonna let JayBuc answer his. I gotta go with the 2002 team with Sap, and I'm gonna tell you why. Defense wins championship, baby, and ain't no other defense like that 2002 Buccaneer defense. Lights out. If you took every player position for position and lined it up against that 2020 Buccaneer defense position for position, they couldn't hold their jock scrap. Sap them and run circles around them boys. That defense, Monty Kiffin had that defense dialed up, man. It was the most beautiful thing you ever seen.
Okay, JayBuc, what you think?
Ooh, I knew this question was coming.
You gonna go with Brady?
2000. Hold on. 2002 versus the 2020
Brad Johnson
versus Brady. Hey,
yeah,
I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with the 2002 Bucs.
Okay.
For this reason.
Go ahead.
The 2002 Bucs, they were just more seasoned. That journey started. That championship was brewing
for a long time.
And I know a lot of people can say 96, but I'm sorry, 97, but really for me it was 96. The end, we felt that shift in 96. Them last 6 games is when we really started to believe in the team, but we really started to see what Dungy was molding these guys to be.
Right.
I honestly believe this team, I think we should have won in 99.
Was that the Rams game?
That was the Rams game. We should have won in 99. I really think we got past the Rams.
That was a questionable call.
Yeah, it wasn't no question. That was a damn catch. Fuck that. Yeah. That was a goddamn catch.
He came back later and admitted that he made a bad call. It was a catch. That was Sean King.
Fuck that Burt Emanuel rule, motherfucker. That was a goddamn catch.
They created the Burt Emanuel rule after that.
Yeah, that was a catch. But that team, it was just a matter of time. I even got one better for you, and I know I'm about to fuck a lot of people head up with this. And don't get me wrong, shots out to John Gruden. He did just enough to get them boys over the edge. But I just think that I think Dungy really honestly could have got us multiple.
Oh yeah,
I think he could have got them. I just think we pulled the trigger a little too soon. And again, that's just my opinion. But the reason why I'm gonna give the edge to 2002 Super Bowl, because that was already brewing, and it was just a matter of time that Super Bowl was finna happen. And that is in no way, shape, or form taking anything away from that 2020. Because my thing is, when Brady came, those pieces was already in place. And I think Arians was the right coach, and Brady he just was just what we needed, not only at the quarterback position, but I actually look. even though I'm going with the 2002 team, I got to pay homage to that 2020. That 2020 defense in the playoff was non-stop. Yeah. Hey, that 2020 defense, them boys came to play during the playoff. If we want to be honest, them boys came to play. Them boys was lights out against that New Orleans game. Brady had an amazing first half against Green Bay during the NFC Championship,
right?
But we had Brady threw about maybe three picks in the second half, and that defense kept us in the game, that NFC title game,
right?
And then of course Mahomes, them boys came to play. So
yeah, they did. They rose to the occasion.
I just think that 2002, I think they was just more seasoned.
I think 2002 was more seasoned. You go and close down Philly in the vet in the cold. You know, Rondé Barber had player almost a century with that pick.
The greatest play in Buccaneers history.
Took a 10-yard slant across the middle for like 70 yards. Like the way they beat teams who seem to be unbeatable.
Yeah.
Like it would before we went into that game, the Bucs gonna get killed. They can't play in cold weather. And we went in there. It's like they blocked out everything that has ever been said, and they just played ball.
Bro, I'm finna fuck your head up. Let's go back to Rondé.
Yeah.
Take away the greatest play in Buccaneer history. Rondé Barber played an amazing game.
Yeah.
That game,
he
had a set. Rondé Barber was all. Rondé Barber, go back. The game on YouTube. Yeah. It's on YouTube right now.
You know what?
Go back. Rondé played an amazing game. Even if you take away the greatest play in Buccaneer, even if you take that play away, Rondé Barber was just outstanding.
The way Kiffin used Barber was we still don't use a DB like how Kiffin used Barber,
right?
Because he could use him in so many different ways.
Right,
he would blitz him on the edge. He would disguise the blitz. He would do so many. And Rondé is not the fastest DB,
no,
but he made him look like he was just the greatest thing since sliced bread, man. And he just always Rondé's greatest attribute was he always found a way to be around the football. Yeah. So you know that. And I guess when you have a front seven the way the Bucs had during that era, you got Simeon Rice, you got Sapp, you got Booger McFarland, you got who was the other end? Greg Spies, Shelton Coors, or one of them. Yeah,
Greg Spies, Shelton Coors, middle linebacker. Yeah, so shout out to my boy Shel.
Yeah, man. So you had these guys, and in the secondary, you had Brian Kelly, you had Rondé Barber, Dwight Smith. And then
you had Dexter Jackson.
I
don't know if you said Lynch, John Lynch.
Yeah. So I mean, like everybody you name on that defense, they was awesome, man. Them guys played really well together.
Facts. And you remember how earlier we was talking about Sapp and how we mentioned that Sapp revolutionized the defensive tackle position.
Right.
And even though Rondé Barber is a Hall of Famer now, we're not talking about how Barber revolutionized that slot corner position.
Yeah.
That
nickel corner.
Yeah, that nickel corner position. Yeah, that nickel.
He revolutionized it. Man, salute to that. Hey, Big D. You still with us?
Sir.
Hey.
I'm here.
Hey, let's talk about your Falcons for a second. You're an Atlanta guy.
Raheem.
When is Atlanta gonna bring a championship back to the city, man?
I'm be honest with you. I like the moves that we made last year. Our quarterback play was terrible, but I do believe we're gonna be active in free agency. I've heard a couple things about maybe trade. I need to see what the draft's gonna bring, but once again, I'm finishing in third place. We're gonna play. I want to say on strength of schedule, we got the easiest schedule, but we just got to put it together. Like I said, I just think we spent so much we gave so much money to Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, and I think we paid them far out than what they should have been paid. But I guess, for me, it's like, I just want to see us put a better product on the field because, the Braves have won, Georgia's won, but if you in Atlanta is football. They love and they
love
with
the
the
Dirty
Falcons.
Birds in Atlanta, man. Them Falcon fans,
and that's why I feel like, And I mean, I go back for me, it's like we always have we have superstars, but we don't really have say great teams. Like I go back when we had. Let's go back to the mid. Deion came in the late '80s.
Was that Jerry Glanville?
Right, Jerry Glanville.
Okay.
We had Jerry Glanville. We got Ham at the games. Then we stopped that. Then we go, okay, then we go to the Dirty Bird. We got Jamal Anderson. They doing their thing. Then we go to Michael Vick.
Right.
Vick revolutionized the city. Vick was the mayor every year he was up there.
Yeah.
So it's like we party. We do everything right in Atlanta except win football games.
That's it.
And that as a fan, you want to see, especially like I say, I live here.
Mm-hmm.
So, for at least 2 weeks out the season, I want to have my chest up. I'm like, hey, we got the Bucs. But I just think, for us, it's going to take, I like Raheem, and Raheem going to have him in the right direction. I think they're going to play for Raheem, too, because I think when he was here,
they're going to rally behind Raheem, man. You can believe that.
Right. But I just think he was here. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, man, when we play y'all this upcoming season, man, make sure we together, bro.
I'm good with that. Like I say, I'm waiting on the schedule in May. So, and that's why I say, we'll get together. We do the draft thing. We're going to get together. So,
right.
I know we got people probably calling in like, hey, man, shout out to what you doing. Keep doing what you're doing, JayBuc. Salute to you, man. Like I say,
appreciate it. But before you go, I got a quick question for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I got to know, and again, because at the end of the day, we still division rivals. So I got to throw a shot. I got to throw a shot.
Go ahead.
As a fan, let alone.
Hey, keep your punches up now, but go ahead.
Hey, but I got to ask this question because my thing is with us being 2-0 in the Super Bowl and y'all being 0-2. Like as a fan, and really honestly speaking, how did you manage or cope through? Y'all, the lead, y'all literally had a 28-3 lead going. What is it going?
I'm gonna
take you back. I'm gonna take you back. No, I'm gonna take you back to it. Okay, that particular the weekend, MLK weekend, I went to Atlanta. Mm-hmm. My grandmother's birthday. We hung out. We played Seattle later on that day.
Yeah,
whoop Seattle.
And
if you remember that particular season, we were the number 2 seed in the NFC.
Y'all was.
Cowboys were 1.
Yeah.
Green Bay
knocked their ass off.
They coming to the city.
Facts.
They coming to the city.
Facts.
So now we got them last game in the Georgia Dome. We whooped Green Bay.
And did.
So
I was pissed off too because I
wanted Green Bay to fire y'all ass up. But y'all, but y'all did the do.
We skipped the week. We get the Super Bowl Sunday. So at that time, and Rono, Alvin Bronson, Alvin's sister Gina had a big Super Bowl party in Palm River.
Okay.
And it's probably saying, man, we got t-shirts made. I'm going to the world's largest Super Bowl party. I mean, we clown it. So we get up. So when Robert Alpha take the pick back, it's 28-3. I got a couple people I already done bet on the game. Bro, let me get that. This is it. Let me get that.
Yeah.
So in that time, they playing the music, DJ playing music, I'm eating, we drinking.
Big D, you mean to tell me you burnt your money?
I burnt my money. I did. I ain't gonna front. I did.
That's the cardinal rule in betting. You gotta wait till that clock says 0-0. You'll never burn your paper like that.
But I'm gonna tell you, but that's why I try to tell people, you gotta be consistent in anything you do. Keep the same energy. And I'm gonna tell you how I kept it. Now we were doing a blog talk show called Hollywood. We did every Monday. So even after that loss, I went on the show that Monday, did the show, took my lunch because, like I try to tell people, I know Roe a Bucs fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Falcons fan. Me and Roe ain't gonna never fall out about his team beat my team.
Right.
But some people take it where they get mad, want to fight. I don't have energy for that, man. Like I say, it's football. I don't play it. I watch it. I enjoy it.
Exactly.
But it's the brotherhood that we built. And even Roe can tell you, some folks when they lose, they tell you lose, they'll block you on Facebook.
All that.
Get mad. They're like, why are we doing a Brussels game?
Exactly.
And a lot of guys that's in the city, they Bucs fans.
Yeah.
So that comes with the territory. But I just tell people and Roe ain't never really wanted to talk junk. Roe just, we win, keep it moving. But you got some that get their chest out and do the dusty rolls when they win, but then when they lose,
they know where to be found. Yeah. They don't stand in the paint.
Just keep the same energy.
Yeah.
Just keep the same energy because I'm on Facebook every Monday, win or lose. We lost, okay, I eat it.
Yes, sir.
But not to be where I'm just going to get in my feelings. Oh, man, Roe, don't call me Roe. I'm mad with Roe. Roe tried me on Facebook. I don't live like that, man.
Yeah.
And I think it's too many of us as grown men that take sports for something that we don't get paid to do
at all
and make it bigger than what it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
We all fans of the game. So like I say, my wife's a diehard Bucs fan.
Okay.
My oldest son.
So she the brains in the marriage then. Nah, I'm fucking with you, D. I'm fucking with you.
Hey, Ro, listen. I'm saying, listen. I'm for the block Jay Sanders on Facebook. I'm through with him.
Hey, Big D, man. Hey, Big D, man. It's love, man. I appreciate you for calling in,
Come on, man. A long way.
Hey,
Jay, I'm gonna send you a friend request too.
Yes,
Jay.
sir.
I love your story, man. It's good stuff.
Hey, man, appreciate that, man.
Big D got a podcast too called Chop Shop. Man.
That's what's up.
You gotta tap in with it, man.
Yes,
matter of fact, Big D, you might have to bring JayBuc on.
Man.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Right around the draft, like I say,
all right.
I'm open to that. So, hey,
let's do it, D.
Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
I appreciate you, boss, man. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Always. Okay. Yes, sir. All right.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
so, Big D, man, that's one of my boys, man. He from the A, so he, he die hard. He Falcon to the door, man. But yeah, we was talking about the Green Bay, the Lambeau game.
Mm-hmm.
The incident, what led up, and then just kind of tell people about what happened after that, because I mean that incident made national news.
It did.
Sports Illustrated, you name it, man. I pulled up some of the links, and last night was just looking at them. I'm like, man, that's crazy. Yeah. So tell the people, kind of walk them through what happened.
Right. So y'all, let me walk y'all through. Really walk y'all through. Exactly, what happened, because of course, I've done, a few interviews. I've, there was a few articles, out there, so for the nature of, the situation, it was some things, that I kind of, kept into consideration, or I kept in context, just for, the sake of, and I'm just I'm on no chaser, right?
Right.
So just for the sake of, it's controlling the narrative.
Yeah, exactly.
You
can speak your mind here. This is no judge zone.
So here we go. We in Lambeau. Again, any opportunity I get, I like to sit, behind the goalpost. So I'm with my cousin. Shouts out to Contessa Dorsey. Shouts out to
Contessa.
Yeah, Power Sunshine crew. That's my sister Wanda, her husband.
Okay. That's the connect.
Shouts out to her. So we attended the game in Green Bay this year together, and again, we was either sitting in section 101 or 102. Those seats are literally directly behind the north goalpost in Lambeau. So we in Lambeau. Now, mind you, when I, go to the game, one of the things that I've incorporated this year in my persona is these red Astro boots. So
who first rocked though? Was it Kanye?
I don't remember who first rocked them.
I want to say it was Kanye. I call them the Yeezy boots, the red boots.
Hey, they the big red boots. I call them Astro boots, the Sonic boots, whatever. So, and we're 5 rows up. So where we were sitting, I guess in section 101, 102, that was also the entrance to and from the field. So security will enter to and from the field. Police will enter to and from that field. Media will enter. That's the area where they got to and from the field.
Right.
So we're sitting in section. Bucs, they marching down the field. We in the red zone, and I promise you all, like it happened so fast. I looked at Contessa and I said, "Shit." And I was going to say, if Mike Evans scored this touchdown, I'm finna try to get the ball. I promise you, in mid-sentence, I see Mike trotting. They on the 19-yard line in the red zone. I see Mike trotting. I see Baker look. I said, oh, here we go. I literally, and you can see it. You'll see it in video. I'm running down the stairs even right before Mike even catch the ball.
Right.
Mike caught the ball. I knew the chance of me getting it was great because it wouldn't.
You the only Buccaneer fan in a sea.
It was other Buc fan, but I mean, it really wasn't nowhere. In the air. If I had to guesstimate the amount of Buc fan that I might have, I would say maybe it's 7 to 10. But I knew the chances of me getting it, was great. So while I'm coming down, Mike moving his way. So I'm trotting down the steps, and again, that you have that entrance. So I get to the little entrance area and was trying to use that. I don't know if I can stand up to kind of brace myself,
right?
You know, to try to grab the ball. I did not know that area, it wasn't secure. I didn't know that it wasn't secure. So what happens? I end up busting my ass or falling to my knees trying to get the ball. I get the ball. Mike hand me the ball. So Mike kind of, if y'all look, Mike kind of look, oh, hey, man, you good? So I felt the security grab me. Mm-hmm. My attention was on Mike. Naturally, really, honestly, it felt like I didn't know if someone pushed me. I didn't know. I just know
in the video, it looked like when he grabbed you, he tried to grab the ball and you snatched away.
But here's the thing: I'm thinking initially he's trying to help me up.
Oh, okay.
But when Mike handed me the ball, while Mike was handing me the ball, he was like, "Hey, you good?" So I get the ball. I'm like, "I'm good." So then I heard. Now I will say this. Now I heard Mike say, hey man, get your hands off my mans like that. Mm-hmm. So it was at that point I realized he was trying to take the ball.
Right.
So I'm looking at, in my mind, it's so much going on in my mind in that moment. One, I bust my ass on national TV. Now I got this interaction with the security guard who was cueing the police to come. So now I'm worried about this interaction with law enforcement. Now I wonder about while that's going on.
You're a black man in Green Bay too.
Exactly. Now I'm also not worried about he cueing law enforcement. So how they had it, as all NFL stadiums, got your security and your police officer on the field.
Right.
So then now I know the police, or security finna come down, because technically this is an incident. Mm-hmm. So in the middle of him trying to take the ball, now mind you, I was holding on to that motherfucker for dear life, because again, this goddamn Mike Evans.
Was you tipsy?
No.
Okay.
I was not tipsy. Believe it or not. I mean, I'm finna take a shot only because I'm on no chaser, but I'm since I'm on my on my health journey, I don't drink as much,
that's good,
I don't
man.
drink.
That's good. Salute to that.
Yeah. So, but I'm on no chaser, so I'm damn sure finna have this cognac 9. So hey, don't judge me, judge your mammy. Yeah. So me busting my ass, the security trying to take the ball. I know that law enforcement or the police, they finna get involved. And then now the security made it known that I was going to get escorted out of the stadium. So it was a lot going on in my mind at that moment. I'm like, I'm already embarrassed because I bust my ass. So ain't no, and I'm like, what's being shown on TV? Like, what is it that people, are seeing?
Right.
So all of this is going on. So while the security was trying to take the ball, he cued the police officer that was on the field. And I also want to say this. I want to pay homage. To the Green Bay Packers fan base that was in that. Green Bay Packer fan base, when it comes to fan bases in the NFL,
they probably top tier.
They got to be top. If not the top, they got to be top 3. Absolutely amazing fan base, and believe it or not, they came to my defense. I'm assuming that y'all looking at the video right now. The guy, if you can see the guy with the Santa Claus, the lady sitting next, the guy off, with the orange Scully. All of those fans came to my defense, and the reason why the security was trying to get me escorted, because the area where I'm standing, that's a no fan area. That's a no fan area. So actually, let's be honest. Where the security was standing, all he saw was me enter an area that was not permitted from fans, first and foremost. So in his defense, he's doing his job. Right. Where it got murky for me, or where it got uncomfortable,
when he tried to take that ball.
Yeah, not only with him trying to take the ball, it's me getting escorted out of the stadium. The fans are telling you, like, hey, he did not enter this area on purpose. He literally tripped and fell. They're telling him what happened.
Right.
But I don't know if it was because Mike came to my defense.
They thought you was going to be a streaker and run on the field.
Right. So clearly it was proof that I'm not a streaker. I'm not trying to access the field.
Right.
That was proof.
Right.
You know, so at that point, there was no grace. He was adamant about kicking me out of the stadium, let alone taking the ball.
Yeah.
And then I think what fueled him even more is when he cued, if you look down, you'll see it was a police officer that was nearby. It was a police officer nearby.
Yeah.
So he cued the police or the sheriff, whoever was on the field, to come and get me escorted out of the stadium, to get the ball, get me escorted out.
Right.
So the police officer on the field was like, "Wait a minute, hold on, we can't take the ball because a player gave him the ball."
Right, exactly.
And then the security like, "No, this is NFL property, so he's not going to keep the ball." And the police officer was like, "No, it would have been different if it was a field goal, if it was an extra point. He would then have to return the ball at that point."
You was giving that ball by a player.
Because a player gave him the ball, he's authorized to have the ball.
Right.
So then, I don't know, that might have fueled him, the security guard more. So the security guard was hell bent on getting me escorted out of the stadium.
He took his job way too serious.
Right. So this is where now I want to talk to my young fellows here, because this was a surreal moment for me. I see the benefit, and I'm saying this at 42 years old, of not responding emotionally in the moment.
Yeah, that's real.
I'm being real transparent with this right now.
Right.
Because it took everything in me not to tell that security guard to fuck you and get your motherfucking hands off of me.
Right.
This was the time where I really composed myself, and I was like, "Jamal, just chill."
I'm glad you did, because then they would have spun the narrative.
Exactly.
Then you would have got arrested, went to jail.
Exactly.
Then they would have found a way to probably try to take your ball.
Exactly.
And
actually, and really honestly, and I'm gonna be honest with you. At that point, it really wasn't even about the ball.
Right. Yeah.
It really wasn't about the ball.
It was
more so of what was being portrayed on TV.
Right.
It was more so about what is being seen, because here's the thing. I'm a super fan on Sundays. I'm a super fan sometimes on Mondays. And I'm a super fan maybe sometimes on Thursday. But I am a mental health counselor Monday through Friday.
Right.
And I strive.
You got to practice what you preach, bro.
My personal life completely different.
Right.
From my professional. And I've done well with that up until that Green Bay moment. Because also, let's push this further, y'all. The only reason why that was a viral moment, it wasn't about me getting the ball. And really, honestly, it wasn't even about me busting my ass. Okay, yeah, people would have laughed. It might have been a little blooper moment.
Right.
What made that viral was the security guard incident.
Yeah.
That's what made it viral, if we want to be honest.
And you got to think, we sit home watching the game, and me and Jew was like, "Damn, that was Kobe."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, shit." I was like, "Damn," you know what I'm saying? So they kept playing it back. All the local states, Channel 13, they kept playing it back, paying it back. So when they zoomed the camera in on you, we was like, "Damn," you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
Yeah. So it was crazy, but let's kind of. All right, so that was the incident. So let's talk about once the emotions come down and the picture that they show with you and the security guard taking where y'all. How did y'all get to that point where y'all dapped it up and y'all took that picture?
This is what happened. This is where I got the I got to again give credit to Contessa. So she played a role in me not acting impulsive in the moment for this reason. Once I realized that more officers was going to come and investigate the situation, And it can be, from, our trauma or, just the mere fact of having to interact with law enforcement. Let's call a thing. That's a trauma for us.
Right, exactly.
And we'll do everything in our power to avoid any interaction with law enforcement as much as possible.
Right.
So my initial thought or reaction was to leave. I was like, if we finna go through all of this for this goddamn ball, fuck this ball, I'm finna goddamn go. Because Tessa was like, no, sit your ass down. Yeah. Like, no, you doing too much. Chill out. Right. Relax.
Right.
Calm your ass down.
Right.
So of course,
she got to sit. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So once we got to, that point, I was able to calm down. And to be honest with you, when police came down, they was real cool. They was like, look, let's nip this in the bud. This ain't exact words. Let's nip this in the bud. Enjoy that ball. You're not going anywhere. We reviewed the clip. We saw that you did not purposely enter the area. You failed. And then even if, you was going for the ball, we knew you was going for the ball. You're not trying to enter the field.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good. We good. Enjoy the game. Stay in your seat.
Right.
But enjoy the game and be safe. And that was the end of that.
There you go.
So that kind of... It was up until that point, from the time I got the ball up until the point, it was at least 20 to 25 minutes of racing thoughts. Like, what the fuck gonna happen again? I bust my ass. It's law enforcement. What is it that people seeing? What perception that people are gonna form?
Because you don't know. You can't see that.
Yeah. Like, I don't see. And then on top of that, the phone ringing off the motherfucking hook.
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger, Facebook posts, text messages, phone calls.
Yeah.
So again, it was just a lot. It was so many emotions going, through that moment.
Right.
So Green Bay fans, amazing.
Right.
Hey, no, it's okay. Congratulations. Enjoy yourself. So then now I'm trying to focus now on the game, because at the end of the game, I would have gave that damn ball. That ball wouldn't have meant nothing if we didn't get that win. Shots out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Our players are doing their thing. No,
you got to keep that ball.
No.
Mike Evans Hall of Fame one day.
I want to keep the ball, but for me, the win meant more to me than anything. It wouldn't have meant nothing if we didn't get that win.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's why he is the true Buc fan.
I wanted the win. Yeah. I wanted to leave out of Lambeau with that win. Shots out to Baker Mayfield. Shots out to them boys played their ass off.
Right, they did.
Game, and we got the win. And I think and Green Bay is a great team.
Right.
So it was a period where I interacted with Green Bay fans, a few Buc fans, came down. Now people want to take pictures, things of that nature. So again, I'm still wondering. I don't know what's being seen or how I'm being portrayed. On
the
TV.
Media. Right.
So I was trying my best. It took a while for me to really truly hone in on the moment that a dream came true. I never imagined in my life of getting, a touchdown, a game ball from your favorite, the greatest offensive player in Buccaneer history.
So with it going viral, and I seen the news clip when the team actually invited you to come to the practice, and the guys did that news interview with you, and Mike signed the ball for you and everything. So how was that moment? Like, how did that feel?
Before I give you that moment, I realized I went off in a tangent, and I didn't answer your question as far as when I took the picture with the security guard. So let's talk about that real quick, then I'm finna answer that question. So again, I was worried about how I was being portrayed in the media, because I did not know. Right. I really honestly did not know in that moment. I didn't know if Mike was mic'd up. I didn't know, if the narrative, was going to be spent on him because he, said something to my defense.
Right.
I didn't, I just knew that, I felt, or it appeared, I'm going to be careful with how I say this, that at the end of the day, the security guard, he was doing his job, did over the top once it was confirmed that, and again, this is my opinion. Once it was confirmed that, I failed and I'm not trying to, enter the field, I knew at some point that his ego had to be maintained, so right. I said, how can I control the narrative in some way, shape, or form? And I just let me try to go take a picture with him.
Okay.
So I went up to him. Yeah, I initiated the picture. I initiated the conversation. I just I was like, look, hey, I understand you were doing your job. when I went to explain myself, he cut me off. He was like, hey, just whatever. So I said, okay. And the conversation literally went like that. So I said, well, would you like to take a picture with me? So my cousin was like, yeah, take a picture. So people kind of
amped that up. Gotcha.
That's how that picture happened.
Okay.
So again, I'm a man, and I can admit, the security guard was doing his job, but at some point the ego, it did turn into an ego thing. At least that's my experience. That's how I felt.
Right.
It turned into, an ego thing once it was, confirmed. It was like, okay, well, we taking the ball. Well, you can't take the ball. Well, we're escorting him out of the stadium. Well, no, we're not escorting him out
at that point.
Yeah, so it was that piece of it for me that, really made it uncomfortable, on top of me fearing of how I, was going to be portrayed, whatever, in the media. So again, I didn't know, in all fairness, I didn't know what the narrative was going to be. I did not know. Right. I didn't know. So again, I'm acting off impulse.
That picture went viral too.
It did.
That picture went viral.
The picture went viral. It did.
I think like in hindsight, hearing you tell this, what I seen was when you took that picture, I think the news media, they played off of that. Not every black man is angry. Not every black man is gonna cut the fool if they feel like they was wrong. By you being the bigger person and going, and it was like they wanted to show that, like, look, hey, they just had a scuffle, and now look, he's taking a picture with the same security guard that tried to snatch his ball away. So all the outlets, they played on that. So that was kind of big, and it was good that you kept your composure in that instance.
Right. And then to answer your question about the moment, the moment, I want to shout out to my boy Ron Moore. Ron Moore is actually I don't know Ron security but I think he some type of security for the Bucs or whatever.
Okay.
He's a great friend of mine, and he I'm like, hit me up like, hey, I'm gonna try to get that ball signed for you. I was like, Ron, if you get this goddamn ball signed,
now it's worth something.
I'm gonna kick you in your chin. No, I'm joking. No, me and Ron, that's my boy. So he was like, hey, let me see if I can, make some phone calls. I'll let you know.
Set it up, right?
So I don't remember the exact date that if I had to guess, I don't know if that conversation was Sunday, Monday. I'm not 100% sure, meaning after the game.
Right.
So then that he would keep me posted. Probably like the next day, Tuesday, he'd be like, okay, I'm trying. Have you heard anything? I'm like, nah, I ain't hear nothing.
Yeah.
Wednesday came, he was like, you heard it? No, I ain't hear nothing. So then I kind of sort of let it go. I was like, hell, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Right.
I swear to God, late Friday night, I get a phone call from a representative for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and she was like, hey, if I'm, such and such, and, hey, I heard you got that Mike Evans ball. And I was like, yeah. So she was like, hey, I can try to get it signed for you. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. So she was like, the players, they have walkthroughs on Saturday. So if you meet me Saturday, I'll get the ball signed. So I was under the impression that I was just going to go to $1 and $1 and get her the ball, and then she was going to take it to Mike and sign it. And to be honest with you, I would have been surprised with that. So when she told me, I literally showed up at crazy shit. Showed up. When she was like, hey, come in. So I'm like, come in what? So he was like, come into the walkthroughs. You can't take any pictures. We asked you for, for no videos or whatever. I'm like, wait, I get to go in? So she was like, yeah. So I said, hold that thought. My fat ass ran to the damn car, changed clothes, threw on my jersey, threw on the Astro boots and shit. I'm like, hold on, I'm finna suit up now. So I ran to the car, suit up or whatever. So I was able to watch our boys through their little walkthrough. They was preparing for Jacksonville, so they did their little walkthrough.
And we told Jacksonville ass,
told their ass the fuck up. Mm-hmm. And then after the walkthrough, it was magic. They took me to Mike.
It's crazy because they had camera, they had media, everything there for that autograph signing. So it's like you weren't prepared or expecting that. So it's like you got there and it was like they made a big deal out of it. You know?
And then even with and the crazy thing, the first day when I seen Mike, The first thing Mike said, hey, they better had gave you that damn ball. I paid for that shit. I said, hey, Mike, I got it. Mike, dope
that's real, man. Mike a cool guy.
Mike is a cool man. Y'all, Buck fans, we really don't understand how blessed.
Yeah.
We are
I hope he can retire as a Buck. Start your career with the team that drafted you. Man, let's get a deal together. Work it to where he can just be comfortable to ride out his career.
I'm real learning from people like you and the wise people before me. I know that when it comes to, I'm learning more of business.
Okay,
and at the end of the day, when it come to Mike, it's not business fee, it's emotions.
Right,
it's emotions, and for this reason. We got Derrick Brooks on defense. Hey, we got Leroy Selman
on defense.
We got Rondé Barber
on defense.
Who do we have on offense?
Right.
Who do we have on offense?
Yeah.
The only chance and the only opportunity. Yep. And I think, and don't get me wrong, and this is no disrespect to Mike Allstott, but is Mike Allstott ever going to get the honor of Hall of Fame? Like,
I think he will, but it's going to take a few tries because you got to think the fullback position is an obsolete position today, and if you didn't live through the Mike Allstott era, you really don't know how good he really was. But so I think it's going to take him. It's going to be a while. He'll be old when he get put in. I think he'll get in.
Look how long it took Rondé to get it.
That's why I say it's going to take a while.
Look how long Rondé
it's going to take a while. He'll get in though.
Actually, I don't want to be. Actually, I'm not going to be because I don't want. If the football gods kind of somewhat work in his favor for him to do it, I don't want to be the one to jinx it. But just right now, I think Mike Evans is the closest thing on offense right now.
He got a chance to be the offensive guy that the Bucs drafted to go into the Hall of Fame.
That's first ballot
at that.
Yeah. So this is a move that I would make off of my emotion. Like, he has to remain a Buck,
right?
And again, I as much as I love our players, at the end of the day, I understand that this is a business. But come on, it's bigger than a contract. Like, my thing is, we need that Rondé Barber, that Leroy Selman, that Derrick Brooks. We need that on offense.
Another thing too, like when I think of Evans was always that guy that was first to restructure his deal. To get other players signed. He done restructured so many deals. He done took not as much money as he possibly could have made to make sure we got other talent. Yeah. So now I think that now it's his time to be unselfish and say, I'm at the end of my career.
Right.
Let me get my big payday.
Yeah.
But can we really, I don't know. So it's just going to take a lot of wheels turning, and it's going to take a lot of shuffling the deck. But somehow or another, I think the Bucs need to make it happen.
Yeah, the Bucs need to make this happen.
Yeah, they got to make that happen, man. That's real. Look, man, it's been a pleasure sitting down with you, talking with you.
Yeah.
We chopped it up. I'm going to tell you, man, that ball has got to go somewhere secured because just this show is Evans going to the Hall of Fame. That ball is going to be very bad. It's valuable now.
Yeah.
And the whole value of it is going to shoot up through the roof. So make sure you keep that, man, and don't let nobody swindle you out of that ball.
Nah,
man.
That ain't gonna happen. That's under lock and key.
Yeah, that's real, man.
Yes, sir.
Any closing statements or anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
Hey, man, I just want to say, thank you for having me. This has been dope. This
appreciate
is an honor.
That.
I admire. Your grit, your grind. I admire what you're doing out here in these Tampa streets. Just for the opportunity to be on the podcast, to talk my shit.
Yeah, yours need to come, man. You got a big following. That man. That Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan network, a community of people. I got a good feeling. I told you this before. I got a good feeling if you sit down and you put your podcast together But make the content more than just sports. Let people dive in and understand who you are as a person.
Exactly.
It'll do good, and you already got a head start because you got a huge Tampa Bay community that follows everything you do. So that's a real big upside.
Shouts out to my fellow Buccaneer fanatics.
Yeah.
You know,
shout out to my boy Chef, man, Kareem.
Yeah, man.
Hey, man. Yeah.
Yeah, Franco.
Man. Yeah.
Franco, that's my brother.
Yeah, man. That's my boy. He hit a lot of, he tell me you and him hit a lot of games.
We do.
Up, man.
Hey, when I really honestly, we want to be honest, like I say, me and Reem really started rocking 2015.
Okay.
However, even before then, me and Reem, I became a season ticket holder in 2010. If I'm guessing right, I think he might have came a season ticket holder right around that time. We was sitting up in the 300
in
levels
the nosebleeds,
in 2010, 2011, around that time. So me and Reem, you know, we before we, you know, really start rocking, you know, like me and Reem, we were seeing each other, you know, whatever back then.
Yeah.
And I remember the first conversation we had. I know we became friends on Facebook, and then he found out, you know, I went to FAM and I was a white whale. So that started the conversation, you know, whatever between him and I, you know. So we always, you know, seen each other in passing. But it was like around, I want to say 2015 is when we really, you know, whatever started rocking. So, you know, when it come to, you know, this, you know, this super fandom, you know, whatever
community.
people want to call it, you know, hey, you know,
y'all been there from the day ones, man.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy, right?
Yeah.
I met him in the cigar bar one night.
Yeah.
And I spot he had the Super Bowl ring on.
Yeah.
And wifey was like, damn, man, I think he a player. He got a Super Bowl ring on. And I said, nah, he ain't no player. That's Big Frank. That's Kareem. I knew him from social media. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, like tailgating and stuff.
Right.
So I was like, what's up, bro? He was like, what's going on, man? And we started kicking and woo. And then, you know, I mentioned that I knew you. And that's how he called you, matter of fact. I don't know if you remember. He called you from the cigar bar. Because I think he said you was supposed to be on the way up there that night.
Right.
And we just started kicking it.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
Right.
But what stood out to him is you called me Kubi.
Right.
So he was like,
anybody know him by Kubi?
By Kubi, they know me. Because here's the crazy thing. A lot of people, like I say, I'm from Palm River.
Right.
I'm from Palm River. A lot of people, like from Palm River, from that area that knew me as a child, a lot of people don't even know my real name.
Right.
Like they don't even know my name is Jamal.
Right.
Or here's the crazy thing. A lot of people I've been rocking and they know me as JayBuc, but never made the comparison that I was Kubi.
Right.
You know, so my thing is anybody that be like, oh, you know Kubi or whatever, then somebody, then when you really know him, if you know him as Kubi.
Right.
Yeah.
And he said that night. He was like, man, you really know Jamal if you know him Kubi. So he called you that night. We was at the cigar bar.
Right.
And then I met we ended up bumping into each other again because one of my bros had a party at his crib. Yeah. And we hired him as a personal chef.
Right.
And I ain't know he cooked like that.
And look here.
He souped up all the way to the max, right? And he had a whole spread. He chefed the whole event.
Yeah.
And he told me then that night, he was like, yeah, man, I cook for the Bucs too. They hire me. Mm-hmm. You know, whenever the players have events and stuff, they hire me. I go on the road with them and cook. I was like, oh, okay, that's what's up.
He do.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that boy, man.
Shouts out to man. Look here, Reem. When it come to that cooking, now don't get me wrong. You know I know other people can cook. Like my thing is, I can survive if I want to cook, I'm gonna cook. But I don't enjoy that shit. Watching Reem cook, dog, that's like watching the fucking movie. It's like he get into a whole fucking. It's beyond passion for me. Yeah. It's like he flipped this switch. Yeah. And he just transformed into this goddamn mutant or some shit. Yeah. And just cause like how he get into man, Reem would get that cigar going. He'll get that Rick Ross playing. He'll get that yak going. And I just never. And I'm like, dog, like, hey, Howard can cook. Yeah. My brother-in-law Tara can cook.
Howard take passion in his cooking too.
Yeah, like I knew like the guys that can throw down, that they can throw down, but Reem gets into this. Yeah, I don't know, like he cooking some shit, like he cooks in the studio or some shit. Yeah, like I just never seen nothing like it. Yeah, you know, man. And then man, that dude, I'm talking about the food is just absolutely amazing. I'm not saying this shit because you know that's my brother, that's my friend, or anything like that. Like that motherfucking can throw the fuck down in the kitchen. Like for real. So man, hey, shouts out to Reem.
That's real, man.
Yeah, man.
We gonna go ahead and tighten this one up, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man. It's been a pleasure, Ro. Thank you for having me, man. Yes, sir.
Y'all can follow me at JayBuc. What is it? 525?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter, JayBuc525. I'm on Instagram, JayBuc525. Hell, you can find me on Facebook, JayBuc525. But yeah, man, hey, Ro, I appreciate you, man, for having me. Or whatever. Hey, I actually, be honest with you, I do got some stuff, you know, whatever in the works, you know, whatever. So y'all stay tuned for that. And shouts out to the Pirates Untamed crew, you know, whatever, the fan crew. So yeah, man. Hey, thank you for having me, bro.
There it is. And on that note, No Chaser Podcast, we out, and episode 3 is a wrap.